Jaguar Land Rover has quietly been preparing to introduce its first fully electric iteration of the flagship Range Rover before the year is out, though some recent spy-shot images circulating online have left observers scratching their heads. What they are seeing is not, in fact, the forthcoming electric Range Rover. Instead, those photos capture a different prototype that, at first glance, diverges from the familiar, boxy silhouette of the current gas-powered models. Nonetheless, when the true electric Range Rover makes its official debut, it should look almost indistinguishable from the petrol and diesel versions that have graced roads for decades, save for a subtly recontoured front end optimized to slice through the air more efficiently. Beyond that, JLR's engineers have opted to preserve the classic proportions, upright stance, and luxurious appointments that define the Range Rover nameplate, ensuring that even as the brand embraces electrification, it does not stray from the DNA that has made its SUVs icons of style and capability. In fact, those minimal stylistic tweaks, principally around the grille, bumper, and underbody cladding, are precisely what JLR designers and aerodynamicists say will enable the new electric Range Rover to achieve the range targets and energy efficiencies required in today's competitive EV marketplace, without sacrificing on-road refinement or the hushed, serene cabin environment that customers expect. By smoothing out airflow around the front corners and channeling air under the vehicle more deliberately, wind tunnel testing reportedly indicates a meaningful reduction in drag coefficient, which in turn helps the battery pack deliver greater mileage between charges. Inside, beyond the obvious substitutions of a high-voltage electrical system for the traditional internal combustion powertrain, the cabin architecture remains largely intact. A luxuriously arranged cockpit trimmed in premium leather, rich veneers, and high-tech displays, all complemented by the commanding driving position and generous dimensions that have long been hallmarks of the Range Rover experience. Meanwhile, Jaguar Land Rover's commitment to electrifying its entire lineup has not stopped with the flagship model. A battery electric version of the Range Rover Sport is also under development, promising to mirror many of the features of its larger sibling, adjusted, of course, to the slightly more compact dimensions and sportier, more dynamic tuning of the Sport variant. That model, too, will adopt the same core electric powertrain components, a modular battery pack nestled within the floor of the vehicle for a low center of gravity, paired with one or two electric motors depending on whether customers choose rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive configurations. In terms of design, it is expected to share the Range Rover's smooth front fascia updates, with the Sport's characteristic tapered roofline, narrower greenhouse, and distinctively curved rear haunches giving it a sleeker, more athletic appearance. Yet the vehicle that has drawn the most curiosity in recent testing rounds is neither the full-size Range Rover nor the Sport. Observers have noted that this prototype rides noticeably lower to the ground and appears more svelte overall, its stance reminiscent of a streamlined coupe SUV rather than an upright, box-shaped luxury hauler. This has led to widespread speculation that JLR may be readying a successor to the Range Rover Velar, the mid-sized model that first arrived in showrooms in 2018 and quickly carved out a niche for itself between the Evoque and the Sport. The original Velar turned heads with its flush door handles, minimalist grille, and sleek proportions, but now, 6 or 7 years on, the time seems right for an evolutionary leap, one befitting not just the Velar's unique positioning, but also the brand's broader electrification roadmap. Last year, Jaguar Land Rover formally announced the development of a new modular architecture tailored for electrified small and medium-sized SUVs, dubbed the Electrified Modular Architecture, or EMA. Designed from the ground up to accommodate battery packs spanning from modest-range urban dwellers to long-haul cruisers, the EMA platform will underpin not only the next Velar, but also the refreshed Range Rover Evoque and the Discovery Sport, models that together account for a significant portion of the company's global sales volume. By standardizing key components such as the thermal management systems, high-voltage electronics, and scalable electric motors, EMA promises to lower production costs and streamline manufacturing, while still allowing each vehicle to retain its distinct character and capabilities. Industry insiders believe that the EMA-based Velar successor will be the first Range Rover family vehicle to reach dealerships in 2026, marking a significant milestone in JLR's transformation into a fully electrified luxury marque. Rumors suggest that early prototypes will be revealed to media and industry partners in late 2025, ahead of a full public launch in early 2026 as part of the brand's push to meet increasingly stringent emissions regulations in markets like Europe, North America, and China. From the outside, buyers can expect a familiar Range Rover profile, albeit accentuated by new, aerodynamic wheel designs, lower slung bumpers, and perhaps a more pronounced rear diffuser to manage airflow under the tail. But beneath the skin, a completely rethought electric vehicle architecture will define its performance, handling, and charging characteristics. For the company's larger SUVs, specifically the full-size Range Rover and Range Rover Sport, Jaguar Land Rover has relied on its premium-based MLA platform, modular longitudinal architecture. Introduced with the most recent generation of the Range Rover lineup, MLA was conceived to support both traditional internal combustion engines and plug-in hybrid configurations, with enough structural flexibility to accommodate future electric versions as well. That is why, even though the electric Range Rover will look almost identical to its combustion engine counterpart, it technically arrived riding on a version of the MLA pedigree that has been adapted to host high-voltage battery modules and electric drive units. This approach has allowed JLR to roll out electrified variants of its flagship SUVs without reinventing the entire vehicle architecture, thereby shortening development timelines and retaining manufacturing synergies with non-electric models.